comrades, здравствуйте, товарищи, and welcome to the Soviet vlog. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who participated in discussion about my latest video, Racism in the Soviet Union. There was a quite interesting discussion, and also there was a question about my experience coming to America. Because what happened, I came on an exchange program and I came to work in a summer camp for inner city kids from Chicago. So the actual camp was located in Michigan, in the middle of nowhere, Michigan. But kids and counselors came from the south side and west side of Chicago, which is a black ghetto. So the question was, what were your initial thoughts on working with the black people in camp and around Chicago? I know you said you were scared, but how did you feel about blacks after your first interactions? So in order to answer this question, I decided I just go ahead and read you guys a small chapter from my book. I wrote the book in Russian called American Diaries 1995, and I'm in process of translating it to English. In fact, book already translated, but I have some things I'm still working through since I'm not the native speaker and my vocabulary is not that expanded. You know, like for example, Donald Trump has a way better vocabulary as mine. So I still got a lot of things I'm trying to fix. For example, I used the word thin like around 100 times in the book. I used the word everything around 41 times and something 61 times. So now I'm struggling to find a better words to replace these plugs. I call them plugs, you know, the words like if you know how to call something, you just say, well, that Russian thing or that something else thing. So in order to make book more interesting, more describing things better again, I'm working right now with some guys to help me with getting the words better to replace this plug words like thin, everything, something. So anyway, I would like to read you this part. This is about the moment when we arrived to camp. So the way it happened, I arrived from Moscow to New York. We stayed in New York for one night, had like an orientation session. Then we flew to Chicago. From Chicago, we took a bus to South Bend, Indiana, now it's becoming famous South Bend, Indiana. And from there, we got picked up by van from the camp. So this is the story. It's about first 30 minutes of me. First time in America, first time in Michigan, arriving to the camp for South Side kids from Chicago. So here we go. It was getting dark when the van took a final turn and started slowly moving along a narrow, winding dirt road surrounded by tall bushes. I had a hard time trying to figure out in the darkness how big the camp was. Tasha, it's our driver, finally stopped the van by a large, low, barn-looking building. Dead tired after a long trip, we started unloading our luggage. Not knowing what to do next, I looked around and noticed only black faces staring us and smiling. It was hard for me to imagine anything more terrifying. But it was going from bad to worse. We were escorted inside the building. I found myself in a large room with smooth concrete floors, tall cathedral ceilings, and even a basketball hoop on the opposite corner. Several intimidating-looking guys were playing ball, while others were playing cards at the plastic-top picnic table, chatting and laughing. The sound of the bouncing basketball was echoing loudly from wall and ceilings. We were the only white people in the room. I suddenly felt my legs go weak and about to buckle under me. Well, it was not my nightmare's grand finale yet. Confused and scared, I was shown to my room. There were about 5 beat-up wooden bunk beds crammed tight in a small space. Loud rap music was literally shaking the bare walls. 10 or so dudes, all black, were happily nodding their heads to the thumping beat and singing along. I was shocked. We picked empty beds and settled for the night. Too scared to ask if sheets and blankets were available, I laid on a bare mattress, using my rolled-up jacket as a pillow. This was how I fell into exhausted sleep, with monotonous rap beat around me and the thought that I had made the biggest mistake of my life. So here we go. That was my first impression of arriving to the summer camp, which I actually came back 3 more times after summer of 1995. But this is what my initial impression. A guy who grew up in a country where there was hardly any black people, and I just got thrown right in the middle of this environment where everyone is pretty much black. And I was a photography specialist. So anyways, I hope you like this little story, and I really hope I can get the book ready so you guys can purchase it and read it and learn more about my experiences of being in America. As I said, if you know Russian already, you're trying to learn Russian, I already have this book available in Russian. You can have it downloaded, or you can purchase from me with my signature. You can contact me through the links under this video. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this little story. We'll talk to you later. До свидания. Goodbye. And if you love my channel and would like to show your support, please click on the link below this video and become the patron of the Ushanka Show. For as little as $1, you can help us grow and create the new, interesting videos about the life in Soviet Union.